Hello all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session of the subject Power Engineering and Refrigeration. We are studying the second topic, IC engine testing. Now let us study about the Euro 4 and Euro 6 norms for M and N1 vehicles. So in order to control the emissions of the vehicles so as to minimize the pollution of the environment, some norms are established. So we are going to study about these norms. The emission standards set specific limits to the amount of pollutants which can be released into the environment. So there are emission standards, and these emission standards will set the limits to the amount of pollutants which can be released into the environment. Many emission standards focus on regulating and controlling pollutants released by the automobiles, motor cars. So there are so many emission standards, and these emission standards focus on regulating as well as controlling the pollutants which are released by the various automobiles, that is the motor cars and other powered vehicles. These emission standards also regulate emissions from small equipments in industries or power plants like the lawn mowers and the diesel generators. Euro norms are the emission standards constituted by European countries to regulate the output of air pollutants from IC engine equipment, including the motor vehicles. So the European countries have set the norms. At the same time, India has also set the norms. But as per our syllabus, we are going to study the norms which are set by the European countries. Now we are going to study the norms Euro 4 and Euro 6 norms for the two types of vehicles, that is M and N1 vehicles. So what is this vehicles of M category? These are motor vehicles with at least 4 wheels, designed and constructed for carrying the passengers. So the vehicles of M category include the motor vehicles with at least 4 wheels and designed and constructed for carrying the passengers. What are the vehicles of N1 category? So the vehicles of N1 category include the vehicles which are designed and constructed for carriage of goods and having a maximum mass not exceeding 3.5 tons. So the N1 category vehicles are used for the carrying the goods, and the mass should not exceed 3.5 tons. So what are these norms exactly that we are going to study with the help of the table? So first of all, emission norms for vehicles of M category using diesel as fuel. So when diesel is used as a fuel, the norms are different. When petrol is used as a fuel, the norms are different. And moreover, the norms also depend upon which type of vehicle is being used. So this table will give us the norms which are provided for the M category vehicle when it is using diesel as a fuel. So these are the norms according to Euro 4 and Euro 6. So carbon monoxide, the limit in gram per kilometer is 0.5. So more than 0.5 gram emission of carbon monoxide will not be allowed per kilometer. So if the vehicle that is of M category and using diesel as a fuel is running on the road, it will not be allowed according to the Euro 4 norms, it will not be allowed to emit more than 0.5 gram per kilometer. So according to Euro 6 norm, this value is 0.5 only. But for the nitrogen oxides, the value changes according to the Euro 4 norm and according to the Euro 6 norms. So the Euro 4 norms, they are established in the year 2005, whereas the Euro 6 norms, they are established in the year 2014. So some improvement is made in the year 2014 according to the Euro 6 norms, and the norms become more strict. And previously the nitrogen oxides were allowed, that is 0.25 gram per kg was allowed, but now according to the Euro 6 standards norms, only 0.08 gram per kilometer of nitrogen oxides are allowed. And these are the values for this is for Hc plus NOx. Hc means unburnt hydrocarbons plus nitrogen oxides in gram per kilometer. So this is the limit according to Euro 4 norms, and it has been reduced from 0.3 to 0.17 in the Euro 6 norms established in 2014. Now the particulate in gram per kilometer, so it is again the made more strict, and this limit is further decreased. So the limit of particulate matter is decreased from 0.025 gram per kilometer to 0.0045 gram per kilometer. Now for the same vehicle, M category vehicle, the emission norms for petrol, when petrol is used as a fuel, then there is some change in the emission norms. So this is the table for those emission norms with M category vehicle and with petrol as a fuel. So the norms, we know that Euro 4 and Euro 6, and again we are having the same pollutants, that is carbon monoxide, and the unit is gram per kilometer. So for the petrol, the limit is 1 gram per kilometer, and according to Euro 4 norms, according to Euro 6 norms, the limit is same, that is 1 gram per kilometer. But for nitrogen oxides, the limit has been reduced from 0.08 to 0.06 gram per kilometer. And for particulate, there was no specification according to Euro 4 norms, but according to Euro 6 norms, the particulate should not be more than 0.0045 gram per kilometer. Now these are the norms for N1 category vehicle. First of all, let us take diesel as the fuel. So for carbon monoxide in gram per kilometer, the norms, there is no change in the norms, that is previously it was 0.5 gram per kilometer, but according to Euro 6 norm, it is kept same, that is 0.5 gram per kilometer. Now the NOx limit has been reduced from 0.25 to 0.08 gram per kilometer, and for unburnt hydrocarbon plus nitrogen oxide, it has been reduced from 0.3 to 0.17 gram per kilometer. And at the same time, particulate matter, it has been reduced from 0.025 to 0.0045 gram per kilometer. Now when fuel is used, petrol is used as a fuel, so in that case you will find that there is some change only in the nitrogen oxide. It is reduced from 0.08 to 0.06, and for particulate matter, according to Euro 6 norms, the limit is 0.0045 gram per kilometer. So these are the norms according to Euro 4 and Euro 6 for M and NI vehicles. Now let us go to study the catalytic converter. So the catalytic converter is a device which will convert the harmful pollutants into less harmful pollutants. So this is the figure of the catalytic converter, and it is a cylindrical unit, and it is a size is small, size is equal to the size of the small silencer, and it is installed into the exhaust system. It is present between the exhaust manifold and silencer. So the location is important. The location of the catalytic converter is between the exhaust manifold and the silencer of the vehicle. So here in this catalytic converter, the toxic gases such as carbon monoxide, unburnt hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides, they are converted into harmless carbon dioxide, hydrogen and nitrogen. So this is the catalytic converter. The exhaust gases from the engine are entering via exhaust manifold. So this end of the catalytic converter is connected to the exhaust manifold, and we know that the exhaust manifold is connected to the engine cylinder. So the exhaust from the engine is entering the catalytic converter via exhaust manifold, and inside the catalytic converter, these exhaust gases, the more harmful exhaust gases like carbon monoxide, then the unburnt hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxides, they are converted into harmless carbon dioxide, then the hydrogen and nitrogen. Now what is there in this particular catalytic converter with the help of which these harmful gases are converted into harmless gases? So there is a honeycomb structure made up of ceramic or metal. So this is a honeycomb structure which is present inside this catalytic converter, and its material is maybe ceramic or some metal, and it is coated with alumina base material. So it is coated with alumina, but that is a base material, that is the first coating. And we have one more coating, that is the second coating is of precious metals like platinum, palladium or rhodium. So these are the precious metals which are used as the second coating over this honeycomb structure, which is made up of ceramic or metal, and the first coating is of alumina base, and the second coating will be of the precious metals like platinum, palladium or rhodium. So these precious metals, they act as the catalyst so that these harmful gases can be converted into harmless gases. So sometimes we are also using the combination of these platinum, palladium or rhodium, and the catalytic reaction converts the toxic gases such as the CO, HCl and NOx into harmless CO2, H2 and N2. So catalyst is a substance which will not take part in the reaction, but it will accelerate the reaction. Sometimes the reaction cannot take place without increase in temperature, or the reaction may be very slow. But if catalyst is present, if appropriate catalyst is used, then the speed of the reaction is increased tremendously, and therefore the reaction can easily take place in the presence of the catalyst, though the catalyst doesn't take part actually in the chemical reaction. So here the precious metals platinum, palladium or rhodium, they act as the catalyst. So we have the catalytic converter, two types of catalytic converter. One is the two-way catalytic converter and other is the three-way catalytic converter. So what is the two-way catalytic converter? So in two-way catalytic converter, through catalytic action, a chemical change converts carbon monoxide and unburnt hydrocarbons into carbon dioxide and water. So carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons are converted into carbon dioxide and water by the process of oxidation. So oxidation process takes place. In order to accelerate this oxidation process, we are using the catalyst, and these catalysts are nothing but platinum or palladium. So platinum or palladium are used as the catalyst, and due to that the carbon monoxide CO and the hydrocarbon HC, they get converted into harmless carbon dioxide and water, and this reaction is nothing but oxidation reaction. Whenever combination of a substance with oxygen takes place, that is nothing but oxidation. So due to oxidation of carbon monoxide we get carbon dioxide, right? And here when hydrogen is oxidation of hydrogen takes place, then we get water. So this carbon can come here also to the carbon dioxide, C. Now what is three-way catalytic converter? In two-way catalytic converter there is only one reaction, and that is oxidation, right? And the carbon monoxide and the hydrocarbons are converted into carbon dioxide and water. So there is no reduction reaction in case of the two-way catalytic converter. So nitrogen oxide is not treated in the two-way catalytic converter, but in the three-way catalytic converter we are having two reactions. So through catalytic action a chemical change converts nitrogen oxide into nitrogen and oxygen, and that is the process is called as reduction. That is the reduction reaction, and it is present, it is happening, this reaction takes place in the presence of the catalyst rhodium. So this rhodium substance which is nothing but a costly metal, so this rhodium will accelerate this reaction so that the nitrogen oxides will be converted into nitrogen and oxygen, and this chemical reaction is nothing but the reduction. That means the oxygen is removed from the nitrogen. So whenever oxygen is removed from any substance, that reaction is called as reduction. So oxidation and reduction, these two reactions are exactly opposite to each other. During oxidation, combination with oxygen takes place. So oxidation means combination with oxidation, and reduction means freedom from oxygen. So oxygen from that substance is removed. So that process is called as reduction. So in three-way catalytic converter, first of all reduction process takes place in the presence of the catalyst rhodium, and nitrogen oxides are reduced to nitrogen and oxygen is separated. Now one more reaction takes place, that is the oxidation also takes place in the three-way catalytic converter in the presence of the catalyst like platinum and palladium. So these two substances act as the catalyst so that the carbon monoxide and the hydrocarbons, they are converted into carbon dioxide and water. So this is the process of oxidation. So this process also takes place in the three-way catalytic converter. So the difference between two-way catalytic converter and three-way catalytic converter is that in two-way catalytic converter reduction doesn't take place, only oxidation takes place. But in three-way catalytic converter, reduction as well as oxidation, both reactions are taking place. So this is a catalytic converter. The exhaust from the engine is entering, and this exhaust gases are treated here. Chemical reaction takes place and we get the clean gas outside. So the catalytic converter is a cylindrical unit installed between exhaust manifold and silencer, and in this the carbon monoxide, then the hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides are converted into carbon dioxide, hydrogen and nitrogen. So inside the converter there is a honeycomb structure of a ceramic or metal coated with alumina base material, and the catalytic converter may be two-way catalytic converter or a three-way catalytic converter. So the reactions we already seen in the presence of catalyst platinum or palladium, the carbon monoxide and the hydrocarbons are converted into carbon dioxide and water, This is the oxidation reaction, and in the presence of rhodium, nitrogen oxides get converted into nitrogen and oxygen. This process is called as reduction. But for this particular process, the temperature required is high. But when the catalyst is present, then at lower temperature like 300 to 350 degrees centigrade also this reaction will take place. Otherwise this reaction cannot take place at a lower temperature like 300 to 350 degree centigrade temperature. So at the temperature 300 to 350 degree centigrade, what happens is that these catalysts become active and the exhaust gas analyzer works at this temperature in the presence of catalyst. But when these reactions takes place, that is this oxidation reaction, reduction reaction takes place, and when the catalytic converter starts working, the temperature further increases, and the temperature may even increase up to 900 degree centigrade. But one thing is important is that due to the presence of the catalyst, that is the precious metals platinum, palladium and rhodium, this reaction of oxidation and reduction will take place at a lower temperature, that is 300 to 350 degree centigrade. Otherwise a higher temperature of 600 to 650 degree centigrade is required. But after this reaction the temperature further increases and this process is further accelerated. That means the catalytic conversion is further accelerated. Now one care we have to take while using the catalytic converter is that we have to use the unleaded petrol or diesel. So if we use lead in the fuel, then this lead will reduce the coating, right? And due to the coating of the lead, this catalytic converter will not work. So we have to take care that we should not use the lead in the fuel, because if you are using lead in the fuel, then the catalytic converter will not work. So these are the reactions which take place in the catalytic converter at these temperatures. Thank you, my dear friends.